Hello, everyone, and welcome to Writing for the Print Media. My name is Professor Mariana Pantic, and today I'm going to talk about AP news writing style. Let me share my screen with you. So we're going to talk about Associated Press style. And let me explain first what is Associated Press. We talked about this in multiple courses, but let me repeat. AP stands for Associated Press. American journalists use AP style in their writing. Associated Press is a wire service or a news agency. It's well known worldwide, and it basically produces news for diverse organizations, especially for media organizations. And you can read AP news not only in the New York Times, Washington Post, and other news media, other platforms, but you can also go to the Associated Press website today and read news directly there. The Associated Press Style Book is a guide that is created by American journalists to standardize communication. This is important because in journalism, just like we have the inverted pyramid style to present news stories, it is also important that we follow a certain style in writing, and that writing style can be used across platforms by different organizations. So journalists, American journalists wanted to standardize communication, and they designed the AP style book, uh, which now represents a guide for other journalists. The AP style now has its 58th edition. It basically is being published every 2-3 years. And I want you for this course to use the 58, the most recent edition from 2026. It covers the period from 2026 to 2028. It's important to know that although the Associated Press represents a news organization, and it Associated Press news is being used by so many media, not just in the United States, but also across the globe. But just remember, aside from media outlets, many public institutions and corporate organizations utilize AP style. And it's very logical because if you are um, a public institution and if you work in the communications department of a public institution, you want to send a press release to a news organization, it's much easier for journalists to use that news press release if it's written in accordance to the AP style. If it uses it, it's just much easier to share this to different news organizations, and they use it too because it makes the job of a journalist much easier. In this lecture, I want to introduce you just to the AP style basics. We will talk more in class, read the book, and try to get it if you can. And also I would suggest you to go to the AP Facebook page and their X account because they post often how something should be written, or if they want to introduce a new rule, they also post it there. So I would suggest you follow their accounts. And I'm going to, in this lecture, just mention a couple of basic things that are important for news writing. What we do in journalism is we use, when it comes to fiction writing, we usually see one name, or even on second reference, when we see the person's first name appearing in the book. But when it comes to journalism writing, we do use on first reference both the person's first and last name, but then on second reference, we use only last names. So this is different than you read a fiction novel and then you see Lisa, Gary, and then instead of Gary, you will see Lisa, you will see her first name in a novel. But when it comes to journalism writing, it is really different. We use only last name on second reference. So it is Ponte, Johnson, Bradley, etc. What happens when you want to distinguish between two people who use the same last name such as siblings or married couple. In that case, you will use both the first and last name just to make sure that people can differentiate between siblings and married couples. So, for example, Judy and John Smith. Then, on second reference, you will say Judy Smith because you're mentioning both these people in your story, and you want to make sure that you're mentioning um, that you're differentiating between the two of them. Asian names, in Asian names, last name usually comes first. And one such example is Ban Ki-moon. He's South Korean, and um, when mentioning him in a story again, so on second reference, you need to say Ban because Ban is the person's last name. Ki-moon is his first name. Another important thing in Associated Press writing style is that abbreviation. What kind of abbreviation do we use before a name? You can abbreviate titles when they're used before a full name. So doctor, governor, senator, and so on. Let's say one such example is Senator Schumer or Dr. Eric Brown. So we can abbreviate it. When we just want to say doctor without a name, then you will spell it out. Use the courtesy titles Miss, Mr., Miss, Mrs. only in direct quotation after first reference when a woman specifically requests it. So don't use it in a story. Don't be the one who says Mr. Johnson. Just say Johnson. But if somebody else is said that and you're quoting them directly, then in that case you will say Mr. Johnson has always been a welcoming man, for example, Smith said. So only if somebody else uses it or if somebody really is insisting on you to use it. Nationalities and races, capitalize the proper name of nationalities, people and races, etc. For example, American, African, Chinese, Cherokee. Some examples include my friend is Chinese, so you need to capitalize it, or he's an Italian who makes a very simple and delicious pasta dish. Numbers, we see numbers in news articles all the time, and it is really important to know when you need to spell them out and when you should use figures instead. You should spell out numbers from 1 through 9, but use figures for number 10 or higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11 for these numbers you use figures. But let me give you some examples. There were 5 females and 12 males in the room. There were 6 paintings on the wall. About 100 people gathered at the pool. So these are some examples where when you need to spell out numbers and when you use figures instead. Dates in many cases. And why is it that we have so many abbreviations in journalism? It started with not having this limited space in newspapers. And when you have this limited space, not only that you want to be as concise as possible, but you also want to use abbreviations to make sure that for something that is so clear and evident, that is for something that is so evident, so you want to use abbreviations to reduce the space for that news story that you're publishing. Some examples include when a month is used with a specific date, abbreviate only these: January, February, August, September, October, November, December, spell out March, April, May, June, July. So instead of spelling out January, if you have a specific date, just remember, if you have a specific date, January 15, abbreviated 2026. Don't write January 15, 2026. But when a month stands alone or is used with just a year, there is no specific day, spell it out fully, regardless whether it is January, February, March, April, May. So it's January 26, not January 26, because not abbreviated January 26th. This is because we don't see a specific date. It is just that we mention a month and a year in this paragraph. Now, we did say that we spell out numbers from 1 to 9, but we do use figures in some cases for numbers lower than 10. Some examples include speed and distance. So let's say the car slowed to 7 miles per hour. The wind is blowing at 5 miles per hour. So you use figures for speed, but also use figures for distances. It's 350 miles to Chicago. She walked 5 miles. So don't spell out 5 miles, just use a figure instead. Age is another factor that also appears in the news, and it is important to say before I explain how you should use these numbers. Remember that you should use ages only if it is relevant for the story. Some examples include profiles, obituaries, career milestones, and achievements unusual for the age. A boy who started playing a piano at age 5, for example. So these things that are, we are a person who ran a marathon at 85. So these things that add to the story, in that if their age adds to the story, then it is important to mention it, but in other cases, it is really not. If you have a witness of a car crash and you're using their name and they're describing what they had a chance to see, what happened, you can just use their first and last name. You don't need to really use their age because it is not relevant for the story. But it is relevant for the story to mention people's age in obituaries, for example. And let's see in which cases we use figures. The 100-year-old tree, Marcus is 12 years old, a 5-year-old boy, the boy is 5 years old. So these are some examples when we use hyphens, and in which cases we use numbers without hyphens. So when you see the age in the example 3 is a substitute for a noun, a 5-year-old boy. In that case, um, we are using hyphens, but in the case after, the noun is at the beginning, the boy, then it's not a substitute for a noun. So in that case, we're just we are using number 5 without any hyphens. Another example of how we write ages is Catherine Jones, 34, has a son 3 months old. The girl, 11, has a sister, 5. The man is in his 40s. Addresses. We use so many abbreviations when it comes to addresses. We do abbreviate avenue, boulevard, and street in numbered addresses, but only, again, just like in case of writing dates, when there's a specific date and we want to abbreviate the month, January, February, um, December, and so on. But in case of, it's similar with avenues and streets, we abbreviate them when there's a specific number in that address. So for example, Greg lives on Cumberland Avenue. We don't know what number, so we don't know what specific number he lives on, so we want to just spell out avenue. Greg lives at 1300 Cumberland Avenue because this is a specific address. We abbreviated avenue. Another example, 503 Cedar Lane. Spell out and always use figures for address numbers. Spell out and capitalize first through 9 when used as street names. Use figures for 10 and above. So is 350 Avenue, this is a specific address, to 1211 31st Street, also specific address. So we make sure to just spell out first through 9 for the name of the street or avenue, but we are using numbers for a specific address. Abbreviate compass points used to indicate directional ends of a street or quadrants of a city in a numbered address. So it's 315 West, W with a period, 22nd Street, or 200 North, 33rd Street. So we don't spell out North because we have this specific address, which is why we use abbreviation. Do not abbreviate if the number is omitted. So we don't know which 42nd Street this is, so that's why we need to spell out West 42nd Street. So it's just West 42nd Street, but we don't know the number, which is why we spell it out. It's fairly easy to remember. Holidays need to be capitalized. I added some examples to this slide, such as Martin Luther King Day, which is a federal holiday. It should be capitalized May Day, and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Veterans Day. Just capitalize both letters at the beginning of each word. And political parties and philosophies. This one might be tricky, but it's actually really simple. You need to capitalize both the name of the party and the word party if it is customarily used as a part of the organization's proper name. So these are parties' names, which is why we capitalize both letters. Democratic Party, the Republican Party. Capitalize Democrat, Republican, Communist, Liberal when they refer to specific parties. So if somebody is a member of the Republican Party and we call them Republican, then we need to capitalize it because we are referring to his party affiliation. One such example is his father runs for the White House as a Democrat. But then you lowercase the name of a philosophy of noun and adjective forms. So the liberal Republican senator said they believe that democracy and communism are incompatible. He's liberal. So we're referring here to the philosophy or ideology. Imagine you want to say that somebody is liberal in their views. So if they're just liberal, if they don't belong to any party, if they're just liberal in their views, then you will use a lowercase. You don't capitalize the L. The reason for that is because you're referring to ideology. You're not referring to their party affiliations. They're just liberal in their views. They're not affiliated with any party. So you're going to say this person is a liberal, and then you use lowercase, just like in this case, the liberal Republican senator. So he is liberal in his views, but belongs to the Republican Party. So you capitalize Republican because it's his party affiliation, but his views are liberal, so you are using lowercase. Books and songs, another important thing to mention in this brief overview of Associated Press style. And again, there's so many more rules. I'm just introducing some of the most relevant ones for you. Use quotation marks around the titles of speeches, books, songs, radio, and TV programs, operas, works of art, and lectures. Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, one of my favorite books, by the way, Assault Paradise by Coldplay. Do not use quotation around the books that are catalogs or reference materials. So Jane's All the World's Aircraft, Encyclopedia Britannica, and so on. Also, do not use quotation marks around the names of newspapers, magazines, or the Bible. Sarah reads the Bible every evening. My father reads the New York Times every day. Do not italicize. Like I noticed that students would use italic, which is accepted in APA style, but Associated Press style does not use it. And percentage. Use this symbol with numerals. AP style uses the percentage sign directly attached to the number, no space, 10%, not 10% or 10% with the space. So this is how it should be written, 10%. And that is all that I had for you in this lecture about the Associated Press style book. We'll practice more in class. I also have an exercise that I posted in classes already. So please complete the exercise before we meet in class. And if you have any confusion, or if you're confused about anything, or if you have any questions for me, you know where to find me. I hope you enjoy learning about the Associated Press. We will definitely cover more in class. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.